Hello, everybody. Back at it again. Another day. We're doing running backs. Welcome back to my Yap session. Let's just get right into this. I'm not trying to waste an hour. Running backs, I got 25 this year. I'm going fucking wild. I got Marcus Yarns out of Delaware as my 25. I'm going to try to go by these folks fast. Pretty fast himself, Marcus. Good agility. Lacks the contact balance, and then, the competition that he was in, Delaware still has it. Well, they will be in FBS this year, but he had a lot of open holes, a lot of screens, wide open yards after the catch. We just don't know how much that will translate. See if he could be a better in-between runner. Then we got 24. A fall from grace. We got Donovan Edwards out of he just, he's still explosive. I think he's still a good receiver threat. Blocking can improve. His vision, inconsistent. Even with his long speed, it's not the fastest. I don't know how it'll translate in the NFL. I think he still has some stuff left that he could contribute, but yeah, just very, very down here this year. So, like his yards per attempt and everything, it's just, I don't know what they were doing up there. 23, we got LaQuint Allen out of Syracuse. Tall, high pad level runner, good receiving threat. Just not an elite athlete. Could get better in the contact balance game, but I like him. He could find a role. I got 25 backs, but eight of them maybe they're gonna starters, joint starters, but very deep class. Also, that's why I wanted to highlight this class. I think a lot of these guys are gonna be able to produce. 22, Jordan James, Oregon. Solid all-around running back, good balance, good enough speed, good enough catcher, dump offs. Not a big route tree, but just a solid all-around running back. Nothing too crazy. 21, Woody Marks, a more shiftier running back. Get him in space, open field. That's where he will excel. 20, I got Rocket Raheem Sanders out of South Carolina. Transferred from Arkansas, big Raleigh bastard. First time I'm saying that today or this year. Yeah, just very good contact balance, good vision for a guy his size. Not big speed guy, but it is what it is. As we go to Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt out of Arizona, pretty much New Mexico State. He only played one game this year for Arizona, which was ironically enough against his former school. Some weird issues. NCAA didn't grant him a whole year. I don't know. It was kind of like the Tez Walker thing last year for North Carolina, but they said no. But another good shiftier. I guess speed running back. I think he has a little more juice. I guess I could have put him a little higher even, but you're gonna have to go back and watch his New Mexico State film really to see how well-rounded of a running back he is. Then we got 18, Jaden Blue, Texas, very good traitsy back, good speed, good vision, could be stronger, really good receiver threat, wheel routes, stuff like that. I think if you put him in like a zone scheme, like a Shanahan, Mike McDaniel offense, I think he'll produce good numbers for you. Then we got Bashil Tootin out of Virginia Tech. He's the speed guy. I think he had the fastest 40 out of this group. Very fast, electric guy. Again, get him in space. I just don't think he's a down-to-down back, but I see the talent. Then we got my boy Kyle Monungai out of Rutgers. These college kids and they're ignorant. Ruffian music. Monungai, very good, hard-nosed running back. Give him the ball 3 times a game. He was Rutgers' best player for years now. Tough guy, again, no elite speed or anything like that, no elite juice wiggle, not too much of a receiving threat, but can give you tough yards, grind you out. I like him. I like him more than most, it seems. Then we got 15 through 11. Trevor Etienne, Georgia, formerly of Florida, and, of course, the younger brother of Travis, a nice, shifty running back. One of the more shiftier guys in this class. I think he has good enough strength to just nothing too elite or eye-popping, or I just like other people in this class. Like I said, it's a very deep class. He'd for sure be a top 10 back last year, let's say, if he came out even at Florida. I thought he was good there. Don't know why he left. Montrell Johnson is another guy I could have put on this list who I do like, but I think Trevor's better. But yeah, I think he can be a hard-working guy and a guy that could definitely get touches on a team. I know there's a good amount of people who are higher on him than me. So then we got Brashard Smith out of SMU. This is the Tyrone Tracy of the class, let's say. Converted wide receiver. So obviously one of the better, if not the best, receiving back in this class. Learning the position, but, I think he has good enough vision. I think that can only improve. Obviously, the contact balance you'd want better, but I think he has good agility, able to elude defenders in the open space. 13, we got one of my guys, Taj Brooks out of Texas Tech. Just solid, solid, well-rounded running back. Again, a bigger guy, not elite speed, long speed, but you don't ask. Just get the tough yards, get the first down, get the chains moving. He's good at that. Good captain. Just well-rounded guy. Got nothing much to say. Won't turn the ball over. Then we got 12, R.J. Harvey, another smaller, electric guy. I like him a lot, as I do most of these people. Yeah, very explosive, can make a lot of good plays, good little screen back, has good enough strength. He's not going to break a bunch of tackles or anything, but I think for his size, it's pretty good for the NFL level. Dylan Sampson now at Tennessee. He's a guy a lot of people like. He's in a lot of people's top 10s. Good talent, athleticism, I see it. I see the development of a well-rounded back. I just don't think he's there yet. He's still young. I think one of the younger guys in this class. Nothing too crazy on the receiving end, but again, just a very good downhill runner, good agility. I see it a lot. So let's go finally to my top 10 here. DJ Giddens out of Kansas State as I turn into a fucking goblin. Size freaks, there you go. All right, let's relax. But projections, these are all over the fucking place. I just made some shit up. 4th to 5th round, I see it 5th to 6th probably. Pros, very good agility for a guy his size, good vision, good lateral movements, very good receiving back too, which I wasn't expecting watching him, but good enough. He lacks explosiveness though, like the long speed, the elite burst from the gate, and isn't really a good blocker at all. That needs to be better, but just again, solid, well-rounded back. I like this class a lot. I know you guys have been hearing it's one of the better classes in years. It's definitely the best class I've been, bullshittily scouting on a keynote to 2 people, Saw TJ Yeldon comp. Said I like it a lot while I get a swig of agua. You guys remember him from Alabama? A high pad level, standing up tall running back, had some strength to him, was a underrated receiving threat. I think Giddens can do same stuff. As we got Damian Martinez from the U, transferred from Oregon State. Another 5th to 6th round guy, sure. Very good power, very good agility and feet movement for a guy his size. I think he can elude tacklers and, maneuver through the hole very well. Smooth runner. Same thing with Giddens. I wanted to really preference that. with him. Yeah, again, a bigger guy, so not not a lot of long speed, elusiveness, and then passing threat. We just didn't see him be utilized in that role at either stop. So you think of someone like Tyler Algier, a good front line, good front line agility for a guy his size, but more of a power back, short down guy. So I think Damian would be a very good complementary back for, whoever has a shiftier running back, or running backs, say someone like the Titans, who have like Pollard and Tosh Spears. You want to get a bigger bruiser back in there. Just an example, folks. Number 8, we got Cam Scatabo out of Arizona State. People love him, the great white hope of this year's draft class. I like him a lot. I just like guys way more. Maybe I was more familiar with them. I've known them longer, but he really broke out. So if you have him higher, I definitely believe it. He's one of the most physical runners in this class, wrecking ball every play, high effort. He's going to be throwing up after the 10th fucking carry he has. And he's a very good receiving threat out of the backfield, and even, put him in the slot, make him run little fades downfield. That Texas game showed you good solid hands for a running back too, catches with his hands for the most part. But just, again, speed. He's one of the slower backs, I'd say, on film. He gets caught a lot, big runs, doesn't have much elusiveness, much wiggle to him. Would probably be a fullback in 2020 or 2004, 5, 6. Would probably like gain more pounds, but again, I think he's going to be another complimentary back. Put him in a split carries with someone, which at this point in the NFL, you almost need like 2 starters. You need a complimentary backfield, running back by committee for the most part, unless you have Saquon or Derrick Henry. You need to have your guys healthy. So I'm sure you've seen the James Conner comps. I see it a lot. A very good, hard-nosed, physical runner who is a very good receiving threat, like better than you'd expect. So if you have him higher, that's okay with me, because you guys know me. With the running back class, I'm usually all over the place when it comes to consensus. As my number 7 here, Devin Neal out of Kansas. You've seen him anywhere from 9 to like 20. He's all over the place. I like him a lot. I've liked him for years now. 56 round pick. I think he'll probably get drafted later than some of the guys I had ahead of him, but very good patience, good shiftiness for a guy his size. Smooth runner, can get through the holes effectively. I just think he's there's not really flaws. Like, he has no elite traits. He's not this elite athlete. So you got the long speed. Blocking can definitely improve. Good enough pass catcher. Again, nothing crazy. He's not about to route you up or anything, but just give him a little dump off screens. I think he's very good with the ball in his hands. Yards after catch type stuff. So Zach Charbonnet, who I was high on a couple of years ago now. Saw that comp, liked it a lot. Yeah, just a very, very good all-around running back. As number 6 is going to shock probably, the draft analyst nerds out there. Remember Ollie Gordon, folks? Ollie Gordon II. Remember 2023 where people were saying he was the best running back of the nation, and then because Alan Bowman was his quarterback and Gundy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing now, he's like running back 28, 25 for these people, like 15. I don't understand it, folks. Maybe I'm a dumbass for just living in the past of 2 seasons ago. Like, it's the same player. Very good downhill speed. He's a linear downhill runner. Great contact balance. Very, very good receiver threat. I think he's one of the better receiving backs in this draft. Especially for a guy his size, sure-handed, catches with his hands, has a good catch radius too. You see how he's built. Again, isn't elusive and can't hit the outside as well. But I think of a guy like Najee Harris. Like I would love if we picked him up in the 5th, 6th round, we got him with Warren. We pretty much got the same 1-2 punch, only without having to pay that much, first round money. I like him a lot. I just don't know, just because his production was down. I don't know. We're very inconsistent on position to position, how we grade people. There's a lot of people that don't just read the box scores, don't grade off production, and then some of these guys have down years because of whatever. It's not even like a Donovan Edwards thing where his everything was regressed. Like he still had aggressive runs, broke tackles, could catch, had big runs. His line was worse. Everything around him was worse. I just don't. I don't see how he himself can fall so drastically down. I know a lot of guys might have moved up in some people's eyes, and a couple did for me. Ollie was definitely a top 5 running back coming in this year, but I don't think all these people surpassed him this much. So I like him a lot. You know me, I don't give a fuck. This is my Chris Sims moment where I have someone higher than anyone, and I'll probably look like a dumb fuck, but we're doing this for shits and giggles, folks. Did I mention the Najee Harris comp? Because, big physical, downhill runner who's very underrated out of the backfield, receiving-wise. All right, let's go back to more of the consensus. We got Kaleb Johnson out of Iowa. 3rd round just sounds right. I could see him in the 2nd round. Very good vision in the hole. Very good burst when getting the ball. Just sees the hole opening, hits it. Long speed, fine enough pass catcher again. That could always be improved for me. You guys know I prefer the balanced, well-rounded receiving backs, a little more juice. I got more of the... Yeah, I think my top 10 is just more well-balanced running backs. My Bucky Irvings, who I hit on, and other people who I'm sure I didn't hit on. I've wanted a little more juice and agility from people, but I think this class has finally got that balance of a complete back that I've been wanting. So he's definitely one of them. Lacks the bend though. He, like a lot of these people, are very uphill or standing up running back. Standing tall doesn't bend and have the lower power to get through tacklers. And for a guy his size, he lacks the aggression as a running back. His contact bounce could get a little bit better. So big, tall, uphill, or standing tall running back. I love Darren McFadden, folks. He's one of the best collegiate running backs I've ever seen in my life. He was a monster. He looks like him a little bit, kind of DeMarco Murray-ish too, but think of Darren's NFL career. He had a very solid career. Could have been better if he didn't have injuries. I don't think Kaleb has those injury histories. I'm hoping it doesn't happen, so we can see a somewhat resemblance of that. Very talented running back who, at this point on, any of these guys could be the best back in this class. I love Genty, but I don't see this giant gap. I didn't make tiers for this one because there's 25 fucking people, and having to do all that shit for the tiers is difficult. But here on out, Kaleb's probably in a tier alone, tier 2. So 4 to 1 is my tier 1. We got Quinshon Judkins out of Ohio State. The Ohio State national champ. Look at him shitting on Notre Dame. It's great stuff. Projection 2nd to 3rd round, I could see it. He'll probably go 2nd round. I think they like him a lot. So he's the opposite of Kaleb. He's a very aggressive runner. Runs angry. That's why we got the Isaiah Pacheco comp. Just, the fucking meme of Isaiah with his stomping shit. Very good burst as well. hits the hole, can have big yards. I think he'll probably get chased down more in the NFL just because there's better athletes. And he's a little stiffer of a running back. He's not as elusive as you'd want him to be. But, I mean, you draft him to be a very nice, well-rounded down-to-down back. I think he can be a down-to-down back and, more of a power back. But, again, these guys have agility. They're not slow as hell like some of these other guys we've talked about in past years. I'm trying not to hate too much on them. I'm not. No one's coming up to mind, but but yeah, also some Kareem Hunt in him because he, again, underrated pass catcher. We just didn't use him enough, and definitely not at Ole Miss. I don't really. But like more a prime Kareem Hunt too, and he's a very patient running back, but sometimes too patient. So we got the urgency. Sometimes you want to hit the hole. Sometimes like he's just waiting in the backfield too long to where he gets tackled for loss because he didn't go anywhere, in any direction. But again, one of the better, well-rounded backs. Very biased, clearly, but like him a lot, and a lot of people do as well. As my running back 3 might be my player 2, 3 in the class of who I love. Very biased, obviously. We got Travion Harrison out of the second-round pick. I think he's borderline first-round talent, but I think it'd be safe to just get him in the second round. Very great value. He's arguably the most explosive running back in the class at any time. Anywhere in the field, he can go off for a touchdown. That's why I got a Reggie Bush comp, which, there's... I talked about Darren McFadden. There is not a better player I don't think I've seen in college than Reggie Bush. So he definitely isn't as shifty, as loose. Like, he doesn't have moves. He's not the creative of a runner. He's more of a north and south guy. So that's why we have a Aaron Jones comp of just as well as a downhill guy. Both were good receiving backs. Travion is as well. You hear concerns about his route tree. It's kind of limited, but again, one, I have seen him catch passes downfield. So we just didn't do that at a high clip because we have the best receiving room in the country. Why do we need our running back running 10-yard curl routes and corner route? Like, no. That's not asked of any running back, especially not here. So I think that could only get better in the NFL. If not, again, dump off screens. He's Texas. He's taking the shit to the fucking house. His vision and contact balance only got better every single year. That's why I didn't put it as a con. If you're still concerned about that, I get it. He does bounce outside more than you'd want, and that might lead to negative plays. But he's just... Again, I'm trying not to be too biased. That's why I have him at 3 and not at 2 or 1. I really... Hell, if you asked me in January during the playoffs, there's no one better than Travion. But, injury history as well. So, again, if you want to put him ideally in a committee with Judkins, if you're scared about that, you don't think he could handle 25 touches a game, I understand it. But just pure athleticism and explosiveness and making plays on the football field, he's one of the better running backs in this class. So that's why I got him here. But these other 2 guys are monsters. Like, I love these guys as well. Amarion Hampton, North Crack-a-Lacka. First or second round pick. At this point, I think he's going to be a first round pick, and he needs to be because he's one of the 32 best players in this draft. Very good motor, great instincts as a back. He just feels the field well from when I watch him. Knows the hole, attacks it. Good pace to him. Good enough speed. Doesn't have the acceleration like the second juice once he hits the hole. So we got a Breece Hall comp. He makes big plays when he's healthy. Hopefully, again, Hampton doesn't have the injury histories that he does. So a good, big physical running back that can hit the hole, get long runs, but may get chased down. You've seen some Joe Mixon comps. I think Joe Mixon was a little more elusive, has more wiggle to him. So I didn't want to go there. I'm just giving Brees Hall out to anyone. I got remember Trey Benson, folks? He's my running back one. If that tells you how goofy my running back rankings can get. I don't want to call him a bust or anything because, one, he wasn't a first-round pick. You guys know me. If you're not a first-round pick, you can't be a bust. And then, two, it was just his rookie year. But nevertheless, I think he would have definitely been running back one for me last year. Any of these, like, 5 guys, really 6. Hell, if Ollie Gordon went out last year instead of this year, we would not be there would not be all these concerns or just overlooks, really. But yeah, Brees Hall, we love him a lot. And obviously, number 1 is Ashton Jeanty out of Boise State. Again, love him. Love Boise State. I've always loved Boise State. I've always been a defender of the non-Power 5 teams to compete. I just believe that this class is so talented. I think it's disrespectful if we think Ashton is just so far above all these other guys. Like that. That's just my only thing. So that might seem like hate to other people. It's just I think this class is this special. But Ashton, you got great contact balance, the best in this class. He's a pinball, get off me, bounce off me, Marshawn Lynch-esque. Great burst. He's another guy. Home run threat. Underrated pass catcher. I think we all understand that they were wanting him to get the record. So it's like we're not going to give him a bunch of receiving targets, but again, just get the ball in his hand anyway in the NFL. I think he can get like 50 receptions, be, fantasy football legend for, the geeks that do that, as if I don't. But again, making up excuses, making up cons, because again, I do think he's this talented. I had to make up cons, high pad level. Again, he doesn't run as low center of gravity to the ground or congruent to the ground. I'll try to explain this better next year. I think you guys get what I'm saying. Like he runs high when he's not like, you want him to be more leveled in the hole. And blocking, he really is not much of a threat, like Travion is. Can we go back to Travion? I really wanted to preference how good of a blocker Travion is. I didn't mention that at all. That's where like the Aaron Jones comp came into. But he's the best blocking running back in this class. The effort, the technique. Obviously, bigger guys, it's not gonna work too well. But all right, enough Travion glazing. There's never enough Travion glazing over here. But yeah, we had to make up cons for Jeanty because he's that good, that well balanced, damn near generational. I get it. Worth a top 10 pick, absolutely. He does also have fumble histories, I guess. Fumble concerns, like with Cam Scatabo as well. I wanted to add. We're going all over the place. We're going to jump all over the place because they run so aggressively that sometimes the ball is just out loose. So you want to be a little more concerned with that. Okay, you've seen LaDainian Tomlinson comparisons. Stop it. All right, just know he's my GOAT. I will never compare anyone to LT unless they're really that fucking good. D'Angelo Williams, I've seen. I like it a lot. And again, Emmitt Smith. Like, what are we doing, folks? Why are we comparing these people to like some of the best players ever? Like, I don't know. I don't know, folks. Jonathan Taylor. The prospect that Jonathan Taylor was, great athlete, explosive, bigger guy, but had the speed for explosive runs, great contact balance, powerful, had some fumble concerns, I guess. That's what I see in Ashton Jeanty. Maybe even like a Josh Jacobs, a little more explosive. But all in all, this is a great class, folks. I'm going to love to see where all these guys land, and there's probably like 10 other running backs that I could have included that will probably have better careers than all the people that I liked. So yeah, this has been a fun little journey, folks, of me rambling. You already know we'll be back later today or tomorrow or whenever the fuck for my receivers class. You guys know how snobby I am with that, as if I know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is me, boy King Caleb here, signing the fuck out.